Testing. Thank you guys for tuning in to another live, insightful topic here with the You Will Make It TV YouTube channel, where we share inspirational quotes, divine messages, and insightful topics weekly, okay? If you haven't already, maybe you're brand stinking new to the channel, feel free to tune in to previously recorded segments just like these, okay? All right. Tonight came to talk about, if you've seen the title there, somebody asked on the last stream, are these replays? I wouldn't say they're replays. I'm just kind of, when you talk about EBT either way, there's so many levels, so many different insightful topics, educational opportunity topics that you could cover. People should have always cared. They just didn't care until it was affecting a lot of people. Those same 40 something million people are also loved ones and relatives to other people or friends, right? It might not affect each and every household directly. The economy already been doing it. People been living paycheck to paycheck. So, anyways, just know that the people out there that did receive food stamps at any given time, they might have people, like I said, it go both ways, that don't in their family, right in their local neighborhoods, in their local families, in your next door neighbor. Just because they get food stamps don't mean you get food stamps. It depends on what kind of community you live in too. In some communities, it's actually not uncommon for the whole block, the whole street, everybody on the street get food stamps. Like, I don't know why everybody acting brand new about this. I mean, that doesn't mean a person who might have a family members, loved ones, like I said, friend, that might get food stamps. So even if it doesn't affect you directly, it is like people showing their colors of how they just felt about the logic of food stamps. They just offering that information like, yeah, well, people with kids should feel, whatever they think about it. Well, they should stay cut off and woo. Some people believe, yeah, even if the government open back up, there should be no funding. Like, some people firmly believe this. There should be no type of emergency funding assistance available for people, because you have housing funding, you have food assistance funding. There's all kind of different assistance, emergency fundings for emergency situations. It's always been like that. Normally. Anyway. Now, what's gonna vary is the applicants and who qualifies and who don't at the end of the day. You see? I mean, applicants. That's why I said that's a better word. If nobody's applying because nobody needs it, then what are you really to? You think people would really care? You wouldn't hear people talking about it as much. If everybody's income was, those 40 something million Americans' income was above a certain amount, they wouldn't even qualify for those benefits. Like, why is nobody talking about this? The topic of income is going to always go back to job skills, career positions, promotions. Like, let's really talk about it. Income. INCOME. In case you missed the last stream, I'm just kind of piggybacking off of what I was talking about earlier, though, that are very valid points. When a person is even working towards building their income, when I say building, I mean you should always want to try to make more. That don't mean always overwork yourself. The quote says work smarter, not harder. See? But you want to get mad at people for thinking that way? I hope not. If you say that's really what you want to see the people do, go to work, make an income, feed their own families, well, it's time to get real about it. You know, nobody should have to tell you that. I was giving advice on the last stream that if people sit back and take a second, when they do their budgeting every month, I don't know how they do their budgeting. Some people do it according to their income. But see, even the food stamp people consider your household size. That's going to always matter too. You can sit down personally. You don't always need a caseworker or assistance helping you to sit down. Okay, I have a household size of 5. How much money do I need to make a year? So we're all getting our accommodations met and needs met, and we're all living and sustaining from month to month. How much do I need to bring into my household? That is the question that started the journey of a lot of people's story of wanting to make a greater income. They looked at that in their life. They said, okay, what is on my plate? Literally, if you just stop and ask yourself that question, not panic, because everybody's plates look different too. Somebody said you can't ask God to prepare a table before your enemies, and then, how did the quote go? Yeah, like complain about all, not just what's on your plate, but what's on the table. A lot of people carry a lot of things, they whole families. The government never said nothing about this. A lot of people been carrying the families on their backs. Let's be honest. Even if some of their family members get food stamps in. I'm gonna be honest about it. There's some people I know, family members and friends and stuff out here that has been helping other people when and where they can. Now I know that's been going on. What they're saying, because people say, well, they should just depend on their man. I agree with that too. Like, who you had the babies with, them y'all kids, not the food stamp people kids, not the taxpayers kids. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. They are right about that. I was just saying the point doesn't just stop there though. It's marriages and stuff, they help each other sometimes. Or yeah, the point is to build your income. Try to make as much at any given time. Not just telling people go to work, get a job, take anything you can find. What are you turning the people into? They got a right to increase their income if they want to. Especially if it's legal. Like, what do you mean? At any other point, that's just you trying to keep them at fixed income. We was talking on the last segment about the difference between income and fixed income. They just want to stop it at income. Why are we talking about the word income? Because that's what they are going to be looking at when you apply for their benefits at any given time. Housing, food assistance, any of it. Or maybe people didn't know. Just living in any income situation and you getting approved for those type of benefits, if you is something wrong. That's one of the main things. A part of the interview to get those assistance benefits is your income. It's going to be the topic every time. And there are different FORMSs of income. So fixed income is a whole nother topic for some people households. And it was like that before the government shut down. Period. Fixed income, like you might get Social Security or some other like government benefit, unemployment, whatever you got going on. People's situations be different. Of course, unemployment is a temporary. I ain't even talking about my own personal situation. I'm just talking in general. Unemployment is a whole source of income. Like, when did that change? That's a whole check. Now, I don't know if that's one of the things being affected. I can't believe I ain't looked into that yet. Actually, I'm actually kind of interested to know. Is that being affected too? Because as the shutdown, I'm saying, as the shutdown, the longer it goes, is stuff like that being affected too? Because I heard federal and stuff like that, some of those workers weren't getting paid. So I was just wondering too, with the unemployment, Social Security, stuff like that. Those are all also forms of income, bro. We're not even talking about how much people are bringing in different households yet. I'm just talking about the different forms of income. One income could be $100 a month. These days that ain't really nothing. But guess what? If it's a source of income and you're applying for those benefits, you're supposed to report it. That's $100. Then the other income, $650. The other income, $1,200. and you put it all together, that's your whole income for their household. That's just the education of it when you talk about this. You know what I'm saying? EBT, period. You can have 4 sources of income, and some people gonna tell you 4 sources even today, depending on what it is. Yeah, I mean it's about living within your means too. But yeah, everybody household size is different. And then that's just the household size. That's not the different needs and accommodations everybody need in the household. Different forms of income. That's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, so what inspired this topic? How are people laying people off, firing people? Even before the government shut down though, people was like being laid off and stuff. They said, I saw that in the news, Amazon laid off. I don't even want to try to quote the number. I know it was in the thousands and it was past 10,000. That's a lot of workers. And we're talking every single worker having the time, space, and energy to get out here and go find a whole nother job. Is it possible? Yes, for anybody. If you was just able-bodied working, you can find another job. People don't say that as an excuse. It's true. It's absolutely true. Because what other reason would you have to just lay a person off or fire them? You shouldn't be worried about, yeah, that's their next step. Find another job. But we're not going to pretend that's not a process. So let's say a father or a breadwinner in the house lose their job. That's going to affect any household. Like, then how long is you off of work? Or what's going on that's preventing you a blockage from getting to work? Because why are we having work topics when we talk EBT? Because you holler and go to work and get jobs to people. Like that's the only source of income in the world though. Yeah, they should always be wanting to expand their income. Then you wouldn't need the benefit at all. This is just my point of view, y'all. My commentary, my reaction to these real changes that are affecting communities right now. Communities, homes, families. And it's interesting to hear everybody's different perceptions, But I don't see nothing wrong with already having that mindset. Like every year, they call them New Year resolutions. That should be on most people's list. Yeah, if you can, like if you don't have a fixed income, you don't have disabilities, and you can expand your income at any given moment and try to do that as the breadwinner and income maker in any household, why wouldn't you want to do that as a New Year's resolution? Like, yeah, I got a job, but I want to make $10 more this year. That's my goal, even if it's outrageous to other people. Not a $2-3 raise, a $10. I want to make a huge financial increase change in my life. What's wrong with anybody thinking it for themselves? Like, it's like these days, just to want to do that, you got to keep it to yourself. And when I say keep it to yourself, like even in the midst of you working on it, like why would you want the government all in your business? That's weird. I mean, unless the government is helping you to build that business, I don't see why they need, unless it's tax time or got something to do with that. What do you have to do with somebody literally trying to build their income, elevate their income in that way so they can graduate from your programs, from your assistance? Most times when somebody gives you with assistance, you want to show that you did something positive, like with the help. And some people real life have that kind of track record. They could say, hey, every time I help that person, I saw them go make a mountain out of a valley. You see what I'm saying? People don't just make up in their minds, oh, I want to bless this person because this person's so cute, or this person's so admirable, or this person deserves the donations. But it's interesting to see everybody's different perceptions, like I said. People like to contribute and donate and give charity in places that they feel like it's actually, they see the proof of the cause, they see the proof of the changes in the communities or in that person's life, if it was just individual help for that person. Some people just have that mindset already. They don't want to get help from nobody, and they can't show what you might want to call a receipt. Like, yeah, I might have been blessed with that $1,000, but did they tell you? They'll just try to watch physically. Well, I saw you spend $1,000. Yeah, what else did you see the person do? I know that ain't the whole story. I mean, it ain't nobody business but you and the person you give assistance. That been got messy a long time ago in society lately. Like, everybody got to let somebody know who they gave assistance or who getting what assistance and where they got it from. If that ain't for the uplifting of any community, family, or individual, there's no reason for that, in my opinion. It ain't your business. If anybody with their own personal abilities can go research resources. There's no need to have to watch nobody for no resources. So make that make sense. And what they're using to get by as they learn to expand their income and quote unquote graduate off of these type of programs. I thought that was the purpose of it. That's why I'm talking about work and income. Because that's what they want to talk about. Everybody that says that they're the most upstanding tax-paying citizens. Everybody, even the most low-income wage earner, gets taxes taken out of their check. So you're not better than nobody because you a higher earning taxpayer. You're not better than nobody. What you did is you helped yourself to get out of maybe having to ask for more assistance, whether that's a family member, a friend, or the government. Make it make sense. Who want to stay in that type of cycle or hole in their life all their life? I was just saying, make it make sense. They do try to spin the narrative that there's a group of people who just want to intently stay on that level for the rest of their life. Are they paying attention to job workforce classes and resources and information they actually give you to go along with those benefits? Because you would learn that there's job trainings and courses and seminars and webinars and stuff. That stuff had been going on. Anybody in the community, if there's a local workforce, in most states there are, in major cities at least, maybe. I wouldn't just say major cities, but you get my drift. Most states have just like they have a food stamp office, they have a workforce. Usually if there's a food stamp office around, there's a workforce. That's why. Because the goal is supposed to get the people back to work. But just going back to work is not enough. At some point, you got to want to expand your income. This is just my strong opinion now, though. You got to want to expand your income to a level where it works for your household. Not for the Joneses, not for Sally and them, not for how your family did it back in the day. What does your household look like, and how much money do you need to bring in every month so everybody's comfortable in that household? That's the problem. Everybody trying to make the same income as the next person. Maybe that's fun to the people that do that. And there ain't nobody in no competition about nothing like that as much as society done changed. The economy, I should say. Let me quit using that word so much because I can't expand my vocabulary at any time. You just be trying to get the topic out, though, because, people will quote you word for word. But for real, man, why are you sitting here? Well, they make $60,000 a year. Maybe they need to. And don't they got a household of 7 or 8 over there? You worried about the wrong thing. 7 or 8 kids, all of them need shoes, clothes. Because y'all made it about, well, people need to take care of their own kids. Oh, they can do that. Especially when they're expanding their income to be able to do just that. From the protection to the health care they might need to the security, everything the child needs. That's what every parent's dream is at the end of the day. What you mean? What parent is okay just sitting back? Well, this is what I got to settle for. And even if a parent get to that level, who just sitting around shedding spotlight on it before creating some type of solution to get that parent out of such a dark place? You should always try to keep parents motivated, even if they single parents. Not saying that's anybody's responsibility. But if your mouth is open about them, keep them motivated about, you know what I'm saying, expanding their income at any time. And there's healthy legal ways to totally do that. It's okay, poo poo. Let me get it. There's kids starting businesses today. Whole children are entrepreneurs, and all kind of ages. If you're just talking income, though, you see what I'm saying? And still, yes, people report their earnings and what they need to do. That's their business between them and IRS. People just done got too darn nosy to me, if you ask me. When we just talk about, oh, everybody's looking for somebody to blame. It's the Republicans, it's the Democrats, it's this person, it's that person. It's everybody. Everybody got more nosy with people finances since social media came out. Because you want to look at what you see in a person's bio, background, and then watch their life. But people always have done that. They might look at what your outer appearance, and they put you in a category. Trust me, they were doing this before I was born. They look at you, and then boom, you go in a category. They find out the next thing. Oh, you get food stamps? Like, come on, man. So, period. You can't talk about income and work without talking about what is people income situation, bro? Like, you at some point you got to look at it. What is people income situation? Are they on a fixed income? Are they more work a commission? Like, what do you mean they income? Some people work commission positions where they only get paid if they make a sale, period. You're not going to make a sale every day. Just ask people that work in that field. You're going to have some bad weeks, some good weeks, or just fixed income, like you always get 2 sales a week or something like that. But I am saying income that's like, come on, bro, let's talk about it. How many strings of it is one allowed to have? I thought there was no limit on that. But you want to put it like that for certain people? I hope not. That's weird. And then make them look like, no, they don't want to work. They just lazy. They don't want to work. They want to stay on our benefits. This stuff needs to be said, man. It's okay for the next person to have 3, 4, 5 clothes boutiques, a hair wig shop, and do nails. And that person bringing in 7 different streams of income, but we be minding our business. I hope that person reporting their taxes and stuff just like everybody else. Of course, it's easier to limit a person if you limit their income. I don't care how you look at it. They are limited. They are still in the box. And you like, well, at least you bring it in something. They don't have to settle for that. What you mean? You should be wanting to expand your income. Some of us been past that level. Like, we went through that too. We went through seasons, well, any job is okay. Some of us, that's the point. You graduated from that already. They want that to be so non-existent. For what? I don't know. But you should always want to continue to grow. It ain't about bouncing around to different employers and not keeping a job longer than 3 months, whatever people talking about. Depending on the reason that a person switched their job, I totally understand if the one they switched to was paying them more. Anybody would understand that. Or the way they opening themselves up is putting them in a position to make more money. They just be wanting to study you. Well, how do you plan on doing this? Okay, how about you sit around and tell your success stories? Y'all the one made it and rich and don't need EBT. You tell us. Why you watching? How we gonna make a way income for ourselves? That's weird. You the one rich and successful. You tell us how to set ourselves up for success then. Because we do listen to some of these people. If all their speeches work, you have more people making more income too. Okay, then you just expect people to believe, oh, there's a crisis in a homeless crisis. Okay, declare a national crisis. I don't want to see nobody else on the news uh, in the broadcast talking about a crisis, but you're not declaring it as that. So stop putting it as the headline titles. You see? Because that's starting to show, like, how it's going to be more real people on the ground saying they experiencing something, but you're not treating it as such. Like, if it's a mass number of people going through it, you're supposed to treat it as such. If it's a small number of people going through it, it's still bad, I guess. But there's always going to be a lower class, unfortunately, in my opinion. As long as it's set up the way it is, it's just going to always be a lower class. People don't want to talk about that, though. And nobody ever wants to be a part of that number. Not forever. We understand starting there. You Will Make It TV will understand anybody starting there or having to be there for a little while. But everybody should, that's graduating from a poverty mindset. Like, it's nothing wrong with working the same job, making the same income for however long you do. But some people just don't want to stay in that space, bro. They want to expand their income. What's hard to understand about that? And they've been working on doing it. And if people see you in that energy, boy, it just taught me a lot. Like, because I'm teaching people that, but you got to teach it the whole way around. But it's plenty of other channels to talk about that. Like, don't just make it like it's going to be bells and whistles and butterflies because a person decides, I want to expand my income. I don't want any government assistance. I don't want to have to depend on anybody. You should come out of high school with that mentality, right? But, of course, we grow, we mature through, even between them times, the 20s and so forth. And you want to expand your income because probably by the end you got a family and you got a whole household that really depend on you. Let me find out they taking shots at whole breadwinners because that's what they're going to consider you, the head of household on EBT applications too, if that's what you are. And last I checked, head of household is still pretty much that. The pretty much head of breadwinner at any given time. The one that's contributing most of the quote-unquote income, they call it. Whose responsibility? Who's signing that paper for that responsibility? They signed up for that when their kids came out. You know what I mean? I'm just speaking for the people for a second. Because I do understand that. I do. And I'm a parent too. They be forgetting you signed up for it. So it's a two-way street agreement. Don't just try to use the rules and what you can do with it against the people. The people also sign an agreement. If the people actually read what they signing up for, they'll see that too. It's not just benefits on your card. They have their own rules, regulations, and things too. Right? Like requirements, hours and stuff you might have to submit to be able to just continue to qualify every month. Personal information, we talked about that on the last stream. I ain't gonna go back over that, but that part is true too. Your address, where you work, all that. So don't act like, oh, we just gave y'all so much and it was such a burden. Now, what did the people give back in return? Pretty much it starts with the taxpayers, but what are the people that's actually the beneficiaries of these benefits been going through? Period. Because why should somebody stay on it for 5 years plus if they really trying to expand their income? I'm talking about they physically doing it. I'm talking about it's evidence of them literally people can say, I've seen this person in this, like, it's something. Maybe they couldn't put their finger on exactly what it was, but this person, yep, I can agree, they moving different. Maybe they're trying to elevate and expand their magical word again, income. Because they have a household. I wouldn't care if their household is sleeping in their car. That's their household at that time. In a hotel room. And I love how they trying to demonize all the families that stay in hotel rooms, knowing that if you can't get a place in your name or afford the rent, where else is you supposed to go? We want to see people with staying with their families only. That's not the real world. That's not the real world. That might be I don't even think that was the old time world. Even back in when they talking about make America great again, people wasn't shacking up with families. Maybe in other countries, everybody had their own stuff going on. Then you had shelters and stuff like that roll out later. Let's do not play like that same assistance has been here the whole history of America, because it hasn't. And when I heard it came out, it was a time. It's the same things the man say. The same things: drugs, crime, prostitution, that was out right when this stuff rolled out too. That didn't mean you had to go run and apply. Anybody. Just because they say, oh, Section 8 applications are open, or food stamps applications are open, or we have Medicaid now, or WIC, if you need it, nobody have to go apply for that. Obviously, there's reasons that people do. That's all I'm trying to shed light on. It's just that, why would it go from a temporary situation, a time that you need it, unless you're a fixed income or disabled person? I'm not talking about those. Because those is like, come on now, fixed income, you only get what you get on disability, Social Security, all that type of stuff. That's different. Fixed income. Do people know what they mean? It can be fixed because of your mindset, or it can be fixed legally like that. You choose your choice. But I know I'm speaking of facts about it. You know, just y'all take notes of what I said. It could be fixed because it's fixed because your own mindset ain't trying to go expand your income. Not just get some type of income. They be like, minimum wage ain't enough. Okay, get you 2 or 3 jobs. Do something else. Expand your income. Get you a better paying job. Expand your income. And don't let nobody shake your mind from doing otherwise. Not even the government. And I'm tired of them playing with people. People can expand their income, look for higher positions and stuff like that if they want to. That's like you're trying to gate guard and gatekeep the higher positions. But you say you want people to expand their income so they can get off of EBT. Come on, man. So they can get off of food stamps. So the taxpayers can have some relief. And I don't know what the taxpayers don't get about it. I'm pretty sure they're still going to be taking taxes out until they change this, where it's fully on this new tariff system or whatever they talking about. Food stamps being shut down for a little while, like people really think that's gonna help us as the taxpayers. No, all of these one things affect a whole nother thing. People gonna learn. Every time one thing is affected like that, it always trickles down and affects other things. You're not just gonna hear that people don't have food. You're gonna hear they behind on rent, because now they spending more money on food. Because now they already was on a fixed income, but now they dig to the utility money just to feed their families. You already see that coming, because make it make sense. Make it make sense. If people are digging more in their already fixed incomes, because some people do have jobs and still get EBT benefits because they're on a fixed income. They still just make minimum wage. And yes, they already working 40 hours. They work a whole full-time shift. And they still don't make enough to cover all the utilities. So they might have qualified for EBT. Yeah, there's people with whole full-time jobs still getting EBT. Wake up, world. Full-time jobs. That ain't even, they gotta put in overtime and stuff if they want a little extra money. Which ain't nothing wrong with overtime. But if you already spending full-time away from your family all the time, plus you cutting off funding for certain children programs like child care, because I don't even know if people know that's going on too. Whole child care assistance. Whole child care assistance cuts. That's just crazy, because like, you know, with child care, that was helping people go to work. So you literally trying to limit the outside. I don't know what they doing with that, but child care always help people go to work. I don't care what they talking about. If those hours are between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., because it's not too many child care stay open, that's a fact too, past 6:30 p.m. Or after school programs. You lucky if you find after school program, like I have a few times, that might be open till like 8 o'clock. where you can really put them hours in at work, because they helping. Back in our day, the schools, not too many of them do that anymore, but the child cares, they would actually pick your kids up from school just to help with transportation, so you can stay at work. You don't have to break your shift or leave and try to go pick the kids up and then take them. You got a lot of parents be doing it just to keep their job. They leaving on break or leaving at 3 o'clock just to go take the kids to the after school program. It's okay, parents, speak about it. You leaving work just to go do that. But like I said, it used to be they would go pick your babies up from school and take them straight to the daycare or take them straight to the after school program or the camp or whatever it is. They've been slowed that down too a long time ago, and Uber and Lyft hadn't even came out yet. And they always be like, instead of saying, hey, we have a funding problem, that's evil. You say, hey, it's because people were abusing these things. Just about every good thing that they have on earth, here's a news flash, somebody's out there abusing it, not just EBT. Literally. And I'm not trying to make excuses for the people that do or have. There are just other good things that have been given to communities and societies out here that people abuse outside of EBT. Maybe that's what when they say witch hunt, that's what they mean. We want to find all abusers of good resources. We'll make it actually look like that. Don't just attack certain resources. That's what I'm saying. Because, like, come on, what is that supposed to look like when you're attacking the child care programs? You pretty much cut the funding. You slash the funding to that, knowing people still have infants and babies and are on fixed incomes, low minimum wage paying jobs. Some people, y'all, the way their background is set up or whatever they might have going on, they can only get certain positions. That's another thing. They can only get certain kind of positions just because of their background. I'm not saying we're supposed to feel sorry for them, but those are still people with families and other stuff too. They just be like, well, they should have thought about it before they committed whatever crime. So for the rest of their life, even after they pay their debt to society, they supposed to be limited to a certain income too. You got to look at it. No, not every person with a felony background chooses to stay on a fixed income either, just because you say they can't have a job position. Maybe they start something on their own, become a locksmith or something, and make good money for themselves and their family. They ain't got to stay limited to a fixed income because you don't like their background. That's been that way for many years. That says more about you, that you have a problem with them trying to elevate their income despite where they come from, which might be poverty, which might be a low income paying job that kept them on a low income program housing or something. You that says more about you, that you mad that a person wants to come out of that. We didn't even say they did. I said wants to. Strongly wants to. Strongly starts putting in the effort one step at a time to make the changes needed to actually put their income in a bracket above fixed. FIXED. Okay? So, I didn't even get to the good parts of the topic. I ain't gonna be on here too long. Like, I didn't even mention bloggers and telecommunications and media broadcasts and radio stations. Those are all jobs too, right? And what shocked me is you saw a lot of them being banned or canceled or laid off and fired over something they said on a media broadcast, right? But you never heard this about actors, like a whole actor got banned because of a role they played in a movie. That's like you just targeting a certain type of workers at that point. It's like weird, you know what I'm saying? And it's like they trying to normalize you being able to, because to me there's a difference clearly between covering a story or giving your reaction or commentary on something and 100% defaming and scrutinizing a person's name and life. You've never seen any documentary. There's a few of them, but I'm talking about after the person is whole deceased. Like, they not here no more. Usually a documentary is not just going to cover when they was in poverty and the bad parts of their life. It's going to also cover what they did to try to succeed, that part of their journey, and other scrutinies they might have went through. But people, it's just weird. In my opinion, broadcasters, podcasters, news anchors, news stations, broadcastings, radio stations, those are all those people jobs. That's still work. And I guess if people want to know, they should just ask questions, not just become busy bees and running ants trying to and flies trying to see how podcasters have what they have going on. That's weird. What if all they had going on was they are in the midst of working on increasing their income, just like everybody else should be trying to do. Before there was a halt or a pause on food stamps. Not just, oh, I got a job and that person don't, so that person lazy. Just because you have a 9-to-5 job, you're still considered fixed income. As long as you make the same amount and you gotta work overtime just to make a different amount, you're on a fixed income too. And yeah, you're a taxpayer, but you're not. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't let nobody hold something like that over my head. I mean, good for that person who has a job. Good for them. But now you only want, if that's your only income, you only one paycheck away from, like, literally pretty much probably being homeless. You know what I'm saying? A job is not enough these days. How much are you making? It goes back to that. There are people with jobs that get food stamps. Let's say it again for the people in the back. There are people with jobs that get EBT benefits. Like, what did people not, how they didn't know that? Period. So yeah, it's just been over just in 2025 alone though. How many broadcasters, podcasters, radio network hosts and stuff do you see get banned, canceled, or even on social media, like social media influencers, for speaking a certain way about their opinions or reactions? Like, what? I think they call it, that's why people said that, they call it censorship. Like, and that's them people whole work. Because if they go through that too, you're messing with the mouths. You're messing with the mouths that they have to feed. Just because I just have to make people knowledgeable and aware about this. Everybody make their money different. I wouldn't care if y'all in the same industry. People just don't want to believe it, because then they gotta actually come into grips with the truth. People rather live a lie. They told themselves that if they're in the same industry as you, they should be making the same money, when in reality, that's not even true with, like, pro league sports teams and stuff. You could be on the same team in the NBA as another one of your team members and still make less money. That applies to any and everything. Who told y'all because you're in the same industry, you do the same field of work, you're supposed to make the same pay? It's how much work with any job you have, how hard you work, that determines your pay. Last I checked, whether you're an entrepreneur or you work at a 9-to-5 job. And some people still work down to the brim and bones and don't get a promotion. They never end up getting. That's the whole reason people be leaving jobs too. They tried to say, oh, people leaving their jobs just to go do those type of jobs. It is called, now there is something too called certain industries being in demand, careers being in demand, certain career fields being in demand. And media broadcasting and podcasting and vlogging and social media influencing is just one of those things, really. I ain't gonna say anybody can do, because, like, can't just anybody walk in a medical office and be a doctor just because they wanted to have the same income as somebody else. You can't just walk in there and be a doctor. So if it's something people see, if it's just in demand and they see, oh, I can do this too, like TikTok. TikTok has changed some people's life. They done went viral. They doing other things, businesses using their TikToks to help elevate their lives. Cause I mean, are they mad at the people or the creators of these platforms who made pay even possible? They're the ones who offer affiliate programs and monetization programs on their platforms, bro. We'll take them serious when that's not that way anymore. Those with those opinions that people are just quitting their jobs to do that. And if they are, it's called jobs being in demand. AI jobs, digital technology jobs, IT security jobs, anything to do with gaming technology jobs, all kind of anything that has to do with the internet. See, people don't have to use it in a negative way. There are whole job positions that will pay you to actually do the right thing with the internet. Literally. That's a fact too. So, but it's just one of those professions, just like the music industry, actors, acting. Some industries, if they're in demand, they have thousands of people every day trying to break into that same industry. But my point is, even when they do, it's not promised that you're going to make the same wages your first year as some. Back to what I was saying. Just because you're in the same industry, do the same exact. Let me give a better example. Uh, let's say professional dancers, right? Like, just because you come in your first year of professional dancing do not mean you're gonna make the same amount as a girl at the same very club been dancing for 5 years. She make more money. She been in the industry longer than you. It's just a lot to it. It depends on what industry you're in, what's going on. Of course, you ain't making no money either. Something like that going on too. Like, you signed a bad deal, they stealing all your money. People really be going through that. So when you really talk about why people end up needing EBT, know what you're talking about. It has nothing to do with them having kids. I said earlier, there's people that have 5 kids that make too much money. Them and their husband make too much money to get EBT. It has nothing to do with you having kids. There's some single women with kids do not get EBT or child support. I hope some of them come across this stream so they can say she right in the comments. Y'all trying to play women for stupid all of a sudden, or suddenly try to use that to be sexist and give your opinion about single women with kids. Or there's some single women with kids that get child support help with their kids. That's the only reason they ain't on EBT, depending on what kind of money the baby father makes. Let's be honest. And they be trying to like, I'm queen of y'all head, like a competition. Women need to stop that too. Because some of y'all is only not probably on EBT. I'm talking probably to the higher class right now. And it is a fact. Because you have babies by people who had a higher income, it wasn't necessarily that you did. Just because you look like, oh, well, I got kids by celebrities, or I got kids by people with money. Not to get in people business, but they getting in the low income people business. They sure are. They'll say, well, at least we were smart. We had babies by men with money. But okay, stay humble. That could be a whole reason. Okay, that's still, how is that man in the household? Or you married to that man? That's just money you getting for 18 years. That's just money you getting for 18 years because you had a baby by a rich person. When that kid turn 18, you're not getting that money anymore, bro. You could very well be back on EBT. If you wasn't doing nothing to, going back to that topic, expand your income outside of child support. Even those ladies who have babies by rich men doing that. That's not a good way to set yourself up. It was some celebrity baby mamas they was talking about with that. Stories that came out. They were homeless here and there. And people was shocked. They always shocked. What is such and such baby mama doing homeless? What you mean? You thought they just cared because they owed them something because they had a baby by them and they rich? That's just showing the realities. Like, they don't go like that for everybody. So they still have to provide a way for themselves to survive. What kills me, if she start making a little bit more, everybody concerned, that's a messed up system for you right there. But the whole society busy talking about women don't want to get, women with a lot of kids ain't trying to get out food stamps, or they rather have them. They rather replace their husbands and black men with food stamps. That is so stupid. For you to, some of y'all probably put dollar tags and stuff on the men you're with. Everybody don't do that. They don't value their relationship and equate it to money. Literally, if they gonna do that, they can do that by themselves. Expand their income. It might take them longer. It shouldn't. That's what I'm saying is a problem out here. Once your mind made up about that, what's in your way, really? Let's talk about it. What's really in your way? You just made up in your mind and you set on it. Like, I'm going to expand and increase my income, so I don't personally need government benefits. What's going to stop a person from doing it? They're not disabled. They're not on the fixed income. All it is they have kids. Why would you make it like it's impossible for a person to do that? Because it's not. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's women out there, they're going to comment on this stream later. If not on the stream, on the comment section when I post it. There are women that have more than 3 kids that do not get EBT. I'm telling y'all. I don't know what fairy tale world y'all been living in. The 42 million people that get it is not everybody with kids. some of them don't need it actually because the fathers do more than what's needed actually because they can afford to. So they don't need EBT. I don't know what people don't get about it. That is so silly. But that's all I want to speak on. Like when you laying people off, you can expect it's like they doing it all simultaneously too. I forgot where I left off at, but these are still the EBT educational facts for anybody that was wondering. Just like deeper topics about this. I wouldn't too much let that could actually make the economy better in a way actually because more people would be looking to make their own money and expand their income. Uh, but can people do that safely? That's what we looking at. That breaks the whole chain. People can't even make money safely no more. Like they gotta worry about what they say on the podcast, the radio, the TV, so they don't get fired. So they don't get laid off. Didn't that just happen to Jimmy Kimmel? Whatever his name was. Who was it? A lot of people. We understand it happening to people that's on some type of contract or uh it was made clear that you couldn't speak about certain things because even certain social media platforms will give you a disclaimer of language and stuff that you're not supposed to be using, they give you like a little warning about it. Who is you getting warnings from if you a whole entrepreneur? Like, you a whole sole proprietorship. Like, you don't even, you do contracts if you feel like it, when you get ready type of deal. Because it all boils down back to that: signatures, contracts. They want you to be tied down because they are. That's weird. You signed that contract. You told that person you would do that for the rest of your life, or for the next 10 years, or for the next 5 years. You can't drag nobody into that with you. That's just the truth, but that don't mean people won't try. And they'll just go slap your name on it. Like, okay, well, if you claim this my contract, or this, I signed up for this to be a part of this, who out here just working for free over and over and over again, staying on EBT and food stamps and Medicaid and housing? Yeah, they gonna have to try again with the new generation. Y'all not finna lie on us like that. I said on a quote earlier that people think you be seeking attention, but the whole time you like making yourself proud. You didn't ask anybody if they like the route you took, the path you going, the way you do it, how you wake up, when you wake up. You didn't ask them that. If you making yourself proud, and people watched it like, wow, it don't take much to make that person proud, like, for theyself. That's weird. Maybe they don't ask a lot from theyself. Maybe some people should ask more of theyself, and not more just of what people are asking them, or what society asks them. What are they doing for themselves? What are they doing for themselves that makes them proud? Like, some people, just them surviving another day makes them proud. They want to pull you down in a category where they don't even think about stuff like that. Like, hey, do I make myself proud? Because if people were really happy, they wouldn't even be crying about this, about how they're going to eat if food stamps get cut off. Nobody's proud of that. They want people to what? Regret their whole life over EBT cuts? Like, come on, bro. Nobody's proud of it. But there are things you can do for your life, for yourself, that you are actually genuinely proud about yourself. You're not waiting on somebody to be proud of you. Like, you proud of you. They don't get it. Because, look, they don't have a Grammys or Oscar awards for the regular people out here. They actually don't have that. Like, you might have something like that at work, where you get Employee of the Year or Teacher of the Year award. But the only Mother of the Year award time, mother, father, is Mother and Father's Day. That's it. You don't get an award for like anything you feel like, on Mother's Day you'll feel special. Somebody say Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day, you feel special. You should feel that same special. That's all I be giving my opinions about when it comes to them two holidays. They should feel just as empowered every other day when somebody not telling you Happy Mother's Day, Father's Day is on that day. And then it just get to like, it just seems fake to some people, because it's like, oh, you want to tell people that on Mother's Day, but during the government shutdown, mothers need to find a way to feed their own kids. They had them. It's their responsibility. They the ones opened their legs and got with these men, so we shouldn't have any sympathy for the ones that don't know how they gonna feed their kids. That's weird. But then when May roll around next year, they gonna say Happy Mother's Day. I'm telling you, they gonna do it. Whether food stamps is on or off, they still gonna say Happy Father's Day. Whether food stamps on or off, they still gonna say Happy Thanksgiving. On Christmas, even if food stamps is cut off, right, and the government shut down, and there's a disaster going on, people still gonna somebody somewhere is still gonna say Merry Christmas. Like I ain't just never seen things get so bad, even during the pandemic. Somehow, some way, I'm just reminding everybody, even during the COVID-19 pandemic, somehow, some way, people still celebrated Christmas. Like I was shocked. People had gifts. They still had their Christmas trees up. I don't know if anybody else was looking at that, but I was like, wow, people, how are they? But I remember this, they was complaining about, there was a time where it showed where people were actually complaining about their rent like a week later. 2 weeks later, they was complaining about, oh, they went back to the same thing. They was like, oh, it's the pandemic, and tried to blame that about their rent when we saw y'all buy all those hoverboards and expensive gifts. I was like, how do people have the money for this? It's Christmas, but it's the pandemic. Oh, they have spiders. That's cute. Hmm. Mhm. Hmm. I was wondering. Anyways, y'all get my point. People still celebrated Christmas. Now, EBT wasn't cut off then, but it was a pandemic. Said what? That's how it was. I'm just checking my battery here, y'all. I'm gonna stay on the chat for like 10 more minutes. But I'm just saying, when you fire a person late, and it's like they'll actually put in the time to make sure that they have a liable reason that they say they're doing it, right? Because that's just forcing people from food stamps to unemployment. If you ask me, that's not fixing the problem. You're not doing anything extra, any extra funding to go towards job training programs, or if it was, and you see people submitting that they're actually doing the work at these job funding programs and stuff and training courses, why would they not eventually land a job? Like I know workforce offices that for sure people ended up with better jobs after they visited. I can say that much. Like whatever programs they have nothing to do with them giving you money. They might have if you want a program, you might qualify for gas assistance. I don't know how they do it now. Every state is different. But gas if you had a car, or bus passes or something like that. And they would be like gas cards, like a quick trip gift card or a gift card to Shell. They were actually putting the work in to see the client through and not only make sure they start the job and help them get the job, but actually make a better income. Of course, it's a better income when you start from nothing, but they try to put you in positions that could actually help shape the future of your career. It never failed though. They always do create some reason. Like it's very few jobs that I resigned. I can say that honestly because if I take the position in the first place, sometimes you go into the contract with it being an agreement that it's seasonal position. People just saying work. Okay, signing up for a seasonal position does not help you for a long-term issue. It's a seasonal position. You only have it for the summer or for the Christmas break. That's what seasonal means. You have it for a certain period. That doesn't mean that that's a long-term position. Unless they choose to hire you on permanently. It has always been this way. So you can see a person 3 months later. Hey, I saw you 3 months ago. You had that job. What happened? What do you mean? When you saw me 3 months ago, I had just started that job and it was a seasonal job. The season just ended. So now I don't work there no more. So now that person has to go find another job if they want to, I guess. However that goes for people. I'm just putting different scenarios out there so people can better understand it before they talk about parents that receive EBT. I'm speaking for those. They don't have time to be trying to defend themselves against blogs when literally even some of these celebrities lately and the president, they are a few in the number that have been known to try to come after getting blogs shut down, podcasts, radio stations, news. It don't matter if it's a certain station that they feel like is coming for their character wrong. And I just think the timing of that is funny. I don't think they care particularly about like who it is. It's what they're saying or what kind of information is being put out. Then you see other channels, they seem to not care at all. Everybody say social media like that though. Like they ban who they want to. Or just look for inside ways. If they can't just get you banned, they go looking for other ways to get you canceled. And that can't be okay, but you telling people to go to work. You telling people stop being lazy and work. I'm trying to show people it be situations like that that ended up with people on food stamps and housing to begin with. People didn't want to see you thrive in the light of income. They okay seeing you with a fixed amount of income. Because they already know. Your income changed too much, they not keeping tabs on you like that no more. Because now you have more financial security and more things to protect. And you would actually be doing it. The more you have also comes with the price of what you now have to pay for protection. You know what I'm saying? You might not need extra heightened security if you don't even carry that much. You literally don't. You carry the basic minimum with you every day and just live the most minimal way possible. You wouldn't be carrying a whole lot with you. So you wouldn't probably see the need for like security and bodyguards and extra stuff like that. That's people who have more, so they have more to protect. They want you to feel like you missing. Feel like that if you want to. That sounds like something you gotta be prepared for. Like they can put a person in shock probably. Like you go from having nothing to having everything, right? And now you got more to protect, but you wasn't prepared for that part. You ain't gonna last long with it. You gotta have wisdom with the things anyway. But ain't none, the reason income increase is good for anybody is it just gives you more room to grow. Money don't change the whole world and change everything for people, but it do put them. We all gotta admit it's gonna put you in a better position. People notice. That's why it's money they fight over so much. It gotta be some type of power associated with how much money people have. Like that part is not hidden. Okay. I got you. Hold on.
Plays a vital role in financial planning.
Let's see. I was just talking about
Providing
finances. See
individuals
how
and
it.
families with financial protection in the event of an
All
unexpected
right.
loss.
Let's see.
The life insurance industry is a significant sector. Billions of dollars in annual premium.
Okay. Which one you want to watch? Blippy. Okay. In the future, I'm gonna have a set time like I used to, that I come on like a time and a date weekly where you guys can tune in. I totally understand why the views and analytics might seem scattered and subscribers and stuff sometimes, but when I actually set just a more routine time where we come together and go live like this, it will be a little bit more organized. We do understand that. But working like this was fun too while I experienced it. Just jumping on at our leisure. And it could be times of night like this, depending on what time zone you're in right now. But I might do it in the daytime. We do it on Wednesdays or Friday nights, but it will be more organized. So y'all stay tuned. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe bell. This is gonna keep you notified. You're gonna receive a notification every time You Will Make It TV post new content, okay? That way you don't miss any of our live segments. Uh, Even if you do, you can always go back and reference to them easier if you're a subscriber. Just for those that might not know how that works. But of course, I'll have all this information on the screen. It'll just be a lot more organized, so people know. We always encourage people to subscribe, but you gotta explain it sometimes to people, like what that means. Because I don't have a membership platform yet either, but they might be coming in the near future. When we post all new channels, feel free to follow us on those as well. Uh, we'll just be doing different projects on those other ones, like Baddies, Beats, and Reviews, where we'll be giving our reviews and commentary just on music. See, a lot of people took over just talking about the celebrities themselves, but we want to actually review music, and it's gonna be fun. So if you haven't already, I think it's Baddie Beats 777, or you can type in at Baddie Beats and Reviews, and it should pop up. So I didn't tell y'all I have a big following over there yet. That's not what we're concerned about, but feel free to subscribe. We just have content coming soon. More content coming soon with the music reviews. Once again, not just talking about the celebrities, but the music itself. Making that part of it fun again too, because to me, music deserves it, right? Hold on, boo boo. One more music reviewer in the world. What, Baby Shark? You wanna watch? But yeah, y'all can go subscribe over there. I had to come and check on my baby really quick. Uh, Baddie Beats, BADDIEBEAT. The N symbol and reviews. You heard it first here. You Will Make It TV. All right. And I got another channel too, y'all. It's called Oshi Funny 91. I think you can type it in and it'll pop up. Cause I plan to bring my comedial skills over there. There's no plan about it. The channel's already up and going. I just want to encourage you guys more to make sure I'm putting it out there to other platforms too as we continue to grow, because it's all a process. Nobody just stays on YouTube forever anyway. I don't know what people so concerned about. TikTok, none of that. The radio or something bigger, maybe, yeah. The radio or TV host, maybe them. I keep having pause breaks here, but it's okay. Get you a water bottle from over here. Get a water bottle. Thank you. Uh, okay, but it was a deep topic. This is a deep topic. Because you can't be laying people off and firing them. Uh, then say go get a job. That makes no sense. That, of course, that's the next step they have to take after that. Even if the job is or isn't in the same industry. We're finna